put my face in front of here. I am hoping you guys can see me. Hi. This is my first live. If anybody saw my clip of the few, well, I have hundreds, but the few that I put in a short on how my art ends up, hopefully tonight won't scare you to death. Accidental painter, but I definitely let the paint flow, and then I'll have a day of drying, and then I'll see how it looks, and it ends up where it ends up. Now, if you also saw my phone, it's cracked on both sides, and I don't really have a great setup, but I really wanted to go live, and I paint every single day. It's been my art therapy, and so I can't believe it was out of white paint and also out of small canvases. I usually do really big ones. So I painted earlier some just basic gray. So I'm going to probably not speak a whole lot. And because of my, can you see my face? Because of my setup, I'm not going to be able to see the live chat. So this is one of those where I hope that you can hang out. And if you're just curious, you know, how do painters do it? What in the heck is she doing? Maybe it'll help you go to sleep. So I'm going to get started. I've got, you probably can't see everything, but I've got a lot of materials and stuff all right here. And I promise you, you're going to do the freak out dance a few times. But don't worry. Everything can be painted over. All right, let's get started. Okay, it looks like you guys can see. Hang on. Okay, I hope I didn't mess that up. All right, everybody. So there's all sorts of different shapes and sizes of canvases, and I really didn't want to do this one as a tutorial. The best lighting for right now is on top of my drafting table, so I just used an old canvas under it. Some of my favorite paintings have ended up being what things dripped on. That's just another story for another day. So we don't care what happens to the turquoise. There's something that I like to do, and I like to mix my paints. I like to mix colors with water, a little oil. If you don't have that stuff, that's okay. So the first one I'm going to do, I have not done this in a really long time. So we're just going to see how it goes. Oh, I haven't done it on silver. Since it's Mother's Day, I was thinking about reds and pinks, and my daughter brought me home some flowers, and they were wrapped in pink. So pretty. So I got this thing a while ago, and I'm a messy painter, so I only use acrylics because acrylic comes off really easy with water and soap. Therefore, I do tend to have my paint clothes and my regular clothes. That's a tip. So each of these colors that I'm putting in here is it's an acrylic. It's got a little bit of water, and this stuff is silicone oil, but you can also use Dawn dish soap. You can also add Elmer's glue, if you can believe it. Let's see, we got pink, magenta, red. How about gold? So this isn't one of the very specific paintings like the one I did with the octopus. That one took a while, but it kind of started this way, and then one day it just started looking like a octopus. So, all right, here we go. So some people do versions of this. It's called a pour, P-O-U-R. My entire life I have spent doing things just a little different, but it's a pretty cool way. I know what you're thinking. It's a cool way to mess around with figuring out how does paint work and how do colors like to go together. And I'm gonna have to do something because I forgot my drafting table is not flat. Hold on 1 second. There's one of these. Here we go. All right, so for now, so the cool part is once it starts to get a little settled, you can torch it and some bubbles will pop. Turns out really cool. I forgot my torch. Hang on. I hope y'all can still see this. Let me look. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's very close up. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm sorry. Can y'all see that? Maybe I should do it. I'll zoom in for this part. Oh crud, I don't know how. There we go. Okay. So the silicone oil, this is how it reacts when you have like water. And you have to be really careful. You cannot go bananas. I actually caught a canvas on fire once. Not really on fire. It turned brown. It wanted to catch on fire. Like you can see right there where there was a lot of extra, probably condensed. That might be. You could keep doing this all day long if you wanted. What I really like about this type of seeing where it goes kind of painting is that now look. I know what everybody's thinking. In fact, I don't even know if anybody's here. If you are, welcome. And then my brain does this every time. I start to hate it. I don't even use that word. I start to dislike what's happening. And then I'll get a paintbrush and start smearing stuff around. So like now it's like, Heather, where'd the bubbles go, right? Let's see. So if you love your bulbs, you probably don't need to jack around with it very much. It's been a while since I've done a pour, so please forgive me. So I've had plenty of friends come over and paint or want to learn how to paint, and most people say, I don't know how to paint. I don't know, I'm not artistic. And I just don't believe that's true. I think everybody has something in them, and it's something different with everyone. But my girlfriend, who is an accountant, she really wanted to come over, but she couldn't get past the idea of this stuff, just messing around, figuring out, you know, how do the colors mix together? What colors do I even like? Because she kind of wanted to like, and I have a really, really, really good friend that's an artist, and he sketches everything out first before he even does any of this. So everybody's got their own way. And y'all, this could end up being who knows what, a heart, like an actual heart. I just wanted to see how it was going to go and fill the space in. All right. What's happening here? All right, there are still more. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, I still have y'all on super zoomed in. Let me take you off. This white I added, what did I put in here? Oil and water. And it's too oily, it's gonna drip. Okay. Still wants to drip. Let me look. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I have no clue how to do a live or why I am doing it, but it just felt like I needed to because I'm already out here anyhow. That's weird. That has a green in it. Let's try some gold. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with my eyeballs. That looks green too. What is this? If you're just joining, I cannot see the chat. I do not have a tech set up yet, but I would like to say welcome, and hopefully you saw my, I think it was a 15-second short of some of my obviously copyrighted artwork. I do all sorts of abstract, poor craziness like this. But usually, when I don't really have something that I have a specific want, I'll do stuff like this so I can kind of play around with colors. And then the colors lead me to what I end up with. And if you're just joining, I usually mix my paints with, not always, it depends, but I usually use just acrylic because I'm pretty messy, and I don't like this at all. So y'all are gonna, if anybody's here, you're gonna freak out because I'm getting ready to change the whole thing. I have a firm belief that even in life, you can have do-overs. I know. I know what y'all are thinking. If there's even anybody there, I know exactly what you're thinking. I was telling you about my friend Suzanne. I was telling you about my girlfriend that was an accountant. And it was really hard for her because she wanted to have a plan. She wanted to have a sketch. She wanted to know exactly what colors. She wanted, all of it had to be really specific. And without that, it wasn't as fun for her. And so my take on that, and the way that I helped her, at least I think I did, was to show her materials, show her how they worked, oil paint versus acrylic, spray paint, the different sizes of canvases. Y'all, drips are okay. You know why? Look, bam. If you missed it, this turquoise thing underneath is a catch-all because, well, just because. Anyhow, so I am not real sure if there's a ton of artists out there that do things like I do. My favorite art in the whole world is to actually make pottery. So maybe this kind of painting makes sense for someone who likes to play in the mud. So all of these dots, that's where that silicone is still mixed in with the paint, and it'll pop out more. Now I can do it again. If anybody missed it, maybe y'all want to see it get torched. Okay, so if you're just joining again, I would like to say welcome. I hope everyone had a fantastic Mother's Day. If you are a mother or anybody that takes care of anyone, I hope that you honored yourself. Let's see how we do. Oh, good. Some, they call these cells. Some cells are popping up. Not a ton because I already did this. If I could remember which paint had the most in it, I would just drop some of that down. And what's cool is if you don't manipulate it quite so much like I did, uh-oh, I'm running out of juice. Like tomorrow when you came out to check at your painting, if we just stop now and I kind of check tomorrow, these cells will be bigger. I don't know how they grow, but I really like. I know there's some in this white, so I'm gonna speckle some light down. If anyone has ever heard of Jackson Pollock, um, he's my very most favorite, and he is the reason that I started all of this because I had to do something after I got lost at sea to get my mind off of it. Painting helped. But I also have an art minor. I have a psychology degree and I got an art minor because I wanted to teach art therapy to kids. But my mother is very, very culturally inclined and lived overseas, so I got to go to a lot of different museums, and Jackson Pollock was just my favorite because I saw this picture of him and they had this huge piece of glass on the ground and he was doing his splatter painting that way. And I thought, I remember thinking, they call that art? Oh my gosh, you guys. And there were, I don't know the years. But there was a time when one of his pieces, I think it's called The Drip, was the most expensively ever sold painting. I don't know what's happening over here, but that one doesn't look right. So one of my paintings that I did is in honor of him. I may go grab it, put it on cam. I don't know what's happening here. I don't get why everything is still. Y'all need to stop. Here we go. If you're just joining, I warned everyone in the beginning you were going to do the freak out dance at some point. This might be it. I have it all over my fingers. Obviously, I was a child that had no problem with finger painting, but it helps because then I can clean up the edges a little before it starts to dry on me. All right. Did everybody sufficiently leave me because you had a freak out dance? I bet. Let me clean my hands. So if you don't have supplies like this, if y'all can even hear me, if you don't have supplies like this, you could find really good deals sometimes online, like these things, these little, they come in different, it's not just Craft Smart, it's two ounces. You can get these on Amazon or wherever. Sometimes they're like 89 cents. And I mean, you can add water. And like I said, even Dawn dish soap, that adds the cells. Just a little bit though. but it'll last a long way. And I mean, I've used toothbrushes before. When I first started all of this, I didn't have any supplies. Someone gave me a canvas. So, um, and sometimes, and I don't have water out in my shop, so I just fill up a bucket and bring it out. And I just try really hard to, you know, if I'm going to get dirty, I try to keep my hands clean as I go. That way, whatever one painting is, the next one doesn't end up those same colors. I wonder if anyone's here. I don't think that I can even see. Let me look. Oh, I think there's one person on here. Hi. I am going to see if I have another torch. I don't think this one's going to do much. Okay, now, give me one sec. I'm going to grab. I do not know if you can see this. I'm gonna have to check it out. This is like maybe the third painting I made. This is Crazy Town, right? Let me see. You can kind of see it. Oh, I see there's two people on here. Hello. Y'all, because of the way my phone is set up, I don't have a big tech thing going on, so I can't see the chat till now. But I wanted to say, in honor of my favorite Jackson Pollock, I think this was like my third or fourth painting, and now I have maybe 200 or 300. But I found this online, so I printed it up. But February 1956, Time magazine named Jackson Pollock Jack the Dripper. And then I printed up his actual shoes, which is I don't know if y'all know him. There's a painting of him. And then, of course, there's the brush I was using, one of them. But that was my, homage to him. So, okay. We ended up with a pink colored canvas. I'm gonna do the silver now. Hang on one sec. All right. I don't know what's happening. I'm so sorry. There's several different kinds of lights, but it's not just pink. It's like pink, orange, red. There's all sorts of colors in it. My favorite part is tomorrow. It's going to look completely different. And no, I don't think y'all join just to see me paint something pink. But it all starts somewhere. Like this guy. This one started out similar to the one that we were just looking at. And look at this. I live in an old farmhouse, and I found that in the old guy that died here. I found it in his workshop, so I thought that was pretty cool. Nice find. Okay, I'm gonna put you back up. Some people use thumbtacks. I have big ones. You stick underneath, so that you don't end up doing this to your hands every time you move it. But I have found that I'm just a messy painter, and what will happen is I'll knock one of the thumbtacks off, and then that'll make me crazy. Okay, so let's see. I usually take one of my other canvases, like one that I don't like the painting, and I'll smear all this paint on it. But I just don't think anybody needs to get more freaked out than you already are. Alright. We're good for now. Alright, this was another one I was not super happy with. I don't think there's that many artists that would really show you if they're messy like me. Most people don't share that because it freaks people out. Okay, can you see this one? Yeah. I'm going to start with the white. So sometimes, if you liked that, the last one, whenever we had the cells, the bubbles, one way to make sure that you don't screw yourself out of that process is to put down the wet paint first. What I mean by that is just like if it say it's a white canvas, put white paint down and then put your mixed pour paint down. Any video that you see on YouTube of anyone that does pour paint, you'll always see them do that. And I don't know. I don't understand the science of it because it's okay with me not to get it. Okay, so I don't get why this is green. Let's do blue. Don't leave. I'm coming right back. Welcome, welcome. If anybody is with me or just joined, I have really different methods than most people. I do actually have an art minor, but that was a real long time ago, and I made a lot of pottery back then. So I think my version of painting is similar to someone who does like to play in the mud. I'm gonna let this sit for just a second. If anybody's still there, I'm gonna go see if I can grab my other torch. Oh, I see two people. Hi. Um, my other torch ran out of juice. We can pop some cells. All right. Yay. Oh, I hope y'all can see that. Hang on. Let's see if I can zoom. Okay, I used the wrong white. That's not gonna work yet. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do really quick? I'm gonna grab one of my favorite paintings that I did this to a lot, so you can see how this, which I'm sure looks like a disaster, doesn't to me. I know my dad would freak out if he would freak out. In fact, that's why I got to pay for my own college, because if y'all didn't know, art is a hobby, Heather. He wanted me to be in computer programming and an accountant. Okay, I'll be right back. 5 seconds. Let me grab the one that is this one done. Okay, let me zoom it back out. How's the lighting terrible? Can you see that? So this one turned out kind of rad. It looks like kind of like the earth. And here's my favorite. This is why my paintings take days and days and days. Can you see that? Oh, I'm gonna have to fix this for sure. No. It looks like a skull right in the middle. Anyways, if you just joined, I am showing you what below me that looks like a nest can end up looking like. We'll put him over here. That's my favorite one. Okay, if anybody's with me still, here comes another freak out dance, okay? And this isn't usually where I do this kind of art. I have two different stations for like my super messy stuff. Wasn't this one that had all the bubbles? You guys, if you just joined, I have a super basic setup, and so I really can't see the chat, and and this is it's my first live, and it's also kind of a view of how I mess around with colors and try to figure out what my next painting will be. I think I've painted close to 300 paintings, and these aren't my total normal ones, but hopefully you were able to see my little short that I posted before this that showed some of the more detailed stuff that I do. It really just depends on my mood. And sometimes my super detailed cool paintings that I like there's one that's this cool octopus, kind of started just like this. And then one day I saw like a leg, like it looked like an octopus leg. So I looked at like 400 images on Google, and I just started sketching it. Then when I had to make the suckers for the octopus, one of my kids, I have some of their old like art stuff. They're in their 20s now. But it had like this little circular thing on the bottom with a stick. I have no clue what it was for, but I just used it like a stamp. I put it in black paint, and then I made suckers all the way up every single one of those legs. But it all has to start somewhere, just like everything, right? Anyhow, thank you for being here. I paint every single day. I have for I think 6 years, and my kids are grown now, but I would wait until I was done with my mom duties and come out and paint. And now I just do it out of habit because it's just really, really quiet. All right, let's see if the blowtorch will work on this one now. I'm gonna move that. I think there's too much paint on it. You're coming off. I have one that I did where the runoff looked so cool because the colors were super striking. While that dries, it doesn't have to dry very long. I need a few minutes, and then I'm going to torch it. I want to show y'all what it looks like with the runoff. Okay, by the way, I paint on anything. This actually was, this actually was an old shelf. Can y'all see this one? Look at it. Look how the runoff. I think it turned out pretty cool. I don't know. Some people just think like it just looks messy? I don't know. Can y'all even see that? Anyways, sometimes you just go with it. That one, it's heavy because it was a shelf. I don't think I want it there. Thank you guys for being here. I just glanced at my phone, even though I can't see the chat because of the way that I just have zero technology right now. But I did see there were people here, and I thank you for joining me. Come on. Okay, let me see. I need to zoom you in. I'm so sorry if I'm making anybody crazy. Okay, let's see if any of these cells pop. So to me, they're bubbles. They call them cells. C-E-L-L-S. Okay. I think I may have mixed. Oh look, the red's going. I'm not giving anybody permission to catch stuff on fire. I hope y'all know that. Okay, we didn't get a whole lot. And all now it just wants to move all by itself. Where y'all going? That's it. That's not going to work anymore. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. But look, extra paint. No longer gray. It's not a painting, but it sure is something to start with. Hey, if you're just joining, thank you so much for being here. My name's Heather. This is my first live. And today I decided that I was just going to be my messy painter self. I do have the ability to be a lot more detailed in my creations. But I really didn't have any super like an imprint in my head on what I wanted to make. So I thought I would just do some base painting, which to me just means I'm prepping stuff that I can add things to for later. Let's see. What can I show you? First off, do you want to see how that is? Let's see. This light above is so bright, which is super cool and very hard to see on camera. So that turned out that way. That still looks just like, I don't know, skin color. Weird. Did everybody see that one? That's my favorite. That one's old. I like it because that part right there looks like a skull. I thought that turned out neat. But like I could do this kind of work. I don't know. Hi, you guys. I see two folks on here. If y'all saw this already, I'm sorry. It's a repeat. I found this hook. The little farmhouse that we live in right now, the old guy that died had a workshop full of really cool tools and stuff, and I found one of his old fishing hooks. But I just wanted to say my messy painting also produces things like this. And having kids, that took me like maybe 5 or 6 different goes to get it to actually look like a unicorn. And there's what my daughter got me for Mother's Day. So sweet. I think that's gonna, and what we were just doing can end up looking like that. I think that one looks pretty cool in person more. I don't know if it's my screen or what. Okay, it looks like I can't flip. How do I flip? Oh, there. Hi. I'm probably going to let you guys go because now I've made a mess, and that's fine. Tomorrow, I probably need to come back on and be on live and show you what it looks like It's like Christmas to me. Every time I paint the next morning, it's always Christmas because if anyone's ever painted like, a wall in your house or anything, paint dries different. It dries a different color. I forget if it's darker or lighter, but when you mix it and you do all this stuff, it's pretty cool. So I always feel like it's Christmas the next day. So I'm new to the live thing. I totally need a new phone, maybe a tripod. I don't know. I'm working with it. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. And I'm going to let you go. And I wish I could just say how much gratitude is in my heart in a bigger way. Hopefully, you understand. I love you. Bye. Oh, yeah. And I have no idea how to turn off live. That's even more funny. Okay, guys. Love you. Bye.